We're going to be going over the idle stopper module installation on a 2024 Honda Passport. This is a Trail Sport edition, so yours might look slightly different, but the disassembly process should be the same. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to take this apart and get this module installed in your car so you can get your idle stop turned off. We're going to go ahead and remove this little strip of trim here. There's a clip here on this side and a clip here on this side, and it pops straight upwards. So you're going to need to take a towel and lay it down on the shifter panel and stick the screwdriver in through the access hole that's down in the middle. So the little detent I'm referring to is there is a little hole right here in the center. And you're going to use that access hole to, once you get your screwdriver in there, lift up or twist. You might have to use a bigger flathead. It'll give you more leverage when you twist it. But when you twist it, or if you lift up on it, it should pop up one side or the other. This one popped up on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and take my trim tool and pull it up the rest of the way. We're going to go ahead and set that to the side. So the next thing we're going to be removing is our shifter panel here. It is just clipped in all the way around. I'm going to stick my hand down in here and I'm going to pop this end up on this side. And once I get this side starting to get loose, I can work my way around and try and loosen all of the other clips by just lifting up, start popping up the clips around the way. And then once you get the front out, the back will come out as well. Or you can start with the back first and pop the front up last. It's really up to you. It is just clipped in. So we're going to go ahead and remove, there's 3 connectors under here. There's one for the idle stop switch, there's one for the shifter switch, and then there's a light connector over here. So there is a small tab that you have to press in to release the connector. Once you unplug the connector, you can unplug the other 2 as well. And then we can move our shifter panel out of the way and set that on the seat over there. After that, we can take our trim pry tool and remove this wireless charging pad panel. You can see the detent here and here where you need to start prying up with. And you can take your pry tool and pry up in those areas and work your way around. And once you get the front clips out, it will slide towards you. And there is one connector on the bottom side of that as well that you will need to unplug. So now that we've got our wireless charging pad unplugged, we can take our idle stopper harness on the gray connectors and plug one into the wireless charging pad itself. And then we can take the wire that is from the wiring harness of the vehicle and plug that into the other side. So the wireless charging pad has 2 hooks on the back. We're going to make sure those go in the proper slots back there. And once those are clipped in, we can push down on the panel and it should snap back into place. Make sure it's all snapped back in so we still have our idle stopper module hanging right here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is get our idle stopper module connected and our shifter panel installed again. So we're going to take our idle stopper module and we're going to run it underneath again. And we're going to pull it up through this hole in the console here. Once we get it up through this hole in the console, we can start plugging in our shifter panel. We're going to plug our idle stopper module into the idle stop off switch. And then we're going to plug the factory wire from the vehicle into the other side of the idle stopper white connector. We can plug our other 2 connections back in, the shifter and the cup holder light connector. Now you can take your idle stopper module and you can zip tie it to this harness that's right here next to it to keep it from moving around and keep it from rattling. We do also provide another foam square in case it needs to rest up against something. We're just going to make sure the idle stopper module and the connectors all go through this hole while we're putting our panel back in. And once we get our panel back down and everything run correctly, we can push our panel back into place. Just work your way around it, snap it back into place. And then we have the trim panel, the first trim panel we removed earlier. We can go ahead and put that back down into place here. All right, so now that we've got our idle stopper module in, we can go ahead and start the vehicle and test it. We'll go ahead and start the vehicle up here. And we're going to watch up on our gauges in about 5 to 7 seconds. Up in the top corner on the left side by the park indicator, you're going to see the idle stop light turn on in a second. There it goes right there. That's letting you know the system is off. And then at any time, if you want to, you can reach down and push the button and turn it back on or off again. It doesn't affect the operation of the button. It only turns it off for you automatically as soon as you start the vehicle. So even if you have it on and active. When you shut the vehicle off and you restart the vehicle, it will automatically default it back to off for you, so you don't have to. So I'll restart it again and wait the 5 to 7 seconds and apply the park indicator. We should see the idle stop off light come on. And there it was right there. So thank you very much for watching this, and we hope you enjoy your idle stopper.